I attended college in Eugene, Oregon. It's a small campus, nestled between mountains and forests, and is sort of famous for its late-night parties. I was getting back from one of them when I found myself stumbling down Willamette Street at 2 a.m., slightly tipsy and craving McD's fries like I wouldn't make it to tomorrow. Luckily, I found the bright yellow McDonald's sign glowing down the block and headed toward it, doing that drunk walk where you think you're going straight, but you're actually zigzagging. When I got there, the parking lot was completely dead, but all the lights were on inside, and I could see the counter and the menu boards, but couldn't spot anyone at the registers. The door was locked, so I banged as loud as I could. "Hey, y'all open?" I yelled, but no one answered. I kept banging. I pressed my face against the glass and saw movement in the back. "I can see you! Can I get some fries?" I hollered. A tall person came up to the front. When they stepped into the light, I could see the red and yellow striped shirt, big red wig, and white face paint. They were dressed as Ronald McDonald, but it had gone bad. The makeup was all smeared, running down their face, and the wig was crooked, sitting too far back. The worst part was the painted smile, which stretched out super wide across their whole face, looking totally creepy. Hey man." I tried to sound normal. "You guys still serving? I just want some fries or—" The sentence died in my throat as he tilted his head like a dog hearing a weird noise. His smile got freaking huge. He blinked, then bolted right at me. Startled, I tripped backward. "What the fuck?" He smacked into the glass door that rattled in response. His hands, clad in white gloves with those weird red and yellow stripes, were flat against it, and he was cracking up with this really high-pitched laugh that sounded weird for a guy. I was running my ass off, my drunk legs pumping. I almost ate shit on the curb, but caught myself. I heard the door rattle behind me. When I looked over, he was trying to get out. My eyes landed on the door to this park right across the street. It was dark as hell. I bolted toward it anyway, thinking I could hide there. I made it to a bench and collapsed behind it. My heart was going a mile a minute. I tried to stay as quiet as I could, but everything was seriously spinning. I listened carefully. There were footsteps on the sidewalk getting closer, and the guy was still freakily giggling. I held my breath as the footsteps got louder. Suddenly, he stopped right on the other side of the bench, and an eerie calm settled over. All I could hear was my heart trying to punch its way out of my chest. Eventually, the footsteps started up again. This time, they were fading out. I waited for 2 minutes before I stood up to peek. The street was totally empty. I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. I turned slightly, and something dropped from the tree above. I jumped and screamed at the top of my lungs. It was the guy. He was right in front of me, with that fucking smile, 2 inches from my face. As I turned to run, I tripped over my own feet and hit the pavement hard. My hands, knees, and face scraped concrete. Everything hurt. The world spun, my stomach lurched, and I threw up all over myself. I was on my hands and knees puking when I felt him standing over me. I could see those big red shoes in my peripheral vision. He started laughing, like this was the funniest thing he'd ever seen. I was still on the ground, covered in my own vomit, and frantically scrambling backward to escape, while he just stood there, laughing. He then stopped and went quiet, staring at me for a long time. He turned around and walked back toward the McDonald's, whistling as if nothing had happened. I sat there in my own puke for probably 10 minutes. I was too scared to move and too drunk to think straight. Eventually, I got up and walked home. I took the longest way possible to avoid that McDonald's. Jake found me passed out in the shower at 4 a.m., still wearing my clothes. He thought I'd just gotten too drunk. I didn't tell him what happened. I returned the following day, completely sober and in broad daylight. The McDonald's appeared entirely normal, with customers eating and children in the play place. I approached the manager and asked if anyone had been dressed as Ronald McDonald the previous night. He looked at me like I was crazy.
We don't do that anymore. Ronald's been retired for years.
But I saw...
You probably saw someone messing around. We do get weirdos sometimes.
He went back to work. My online search of local crime reports revealed nothing regarding an individual in a clown costume or any suspicious activity. It has been weeks. I am still in Eugene and go to that campus every day, but I don't walk home drunk anymore. In fact, I avoid McDonald's at all costs, because even a single glimpse of those golden arches make me shiver. My roommates think I had a bad trip, that I hallucinated the whole thing. Maybe they're right. Maybe it was just the booze. But I still remember those big red shoes standing over me while I puked. Still hear that laugh and see that smile stretched way too wide. And I know it was real.